Welcome back to the Reconnection Podcast with Dr. Michael Barta. This is the second episode of a special three-part series focused on how to begin healing your relationship after betrayal. Dr. Barta, one thing I hear you talk about often is regulation and emotional presence. Many people listening may not fully understand why regulation matters so much in helping a relationship heal after betrayal. Why is regulation so important?
Well, because the most important and really the only way someone can help their partner heal is if they first learn how to stay regulated themselves. After betrayal, the nervous system of the betrayed partner is going to become hypervigilant. And it's going to constantly scan for safety, danger, inconsistency, emotional shutdown, defensiveness, or any type of disconnection. And if the person who caused the betrayal continues to become emotionally reactive, avoidant, if they're defensive or distant, or if they're somehow dysregulated or shut down, the relationship often continues to feel unsafe no matter how badly both people want the healing. And that's why this regulation's so important.
So, in many ways, healing the relationship begins with learning how to regulate yourself differently.
That's a must, right? The entire purpose of the Reconnection Intensive is to help people understand what dysregulated their nervous system in the first place. And when it's dysregulated, most people develop survival adaptations long before the betrayal behaviors ever appeared. So trauma, developmental wounds, emotional disconnection, shame, fear, instability, and unmet emotional needs are going to all shape the nervous system over time. And eventually, what these people are going to learn are protective strategies to survive emotionally. They're going to learn avoidance, emotional shutdown, compulsive behaviors. They're going to try to control things. They're going to be performing in secrecy, and they're going to stay emotionally disconnected. But these strategies eventually begin damaging both the individual and the relationship. So the goal, again, like in episode 1, it's not behavior management. The goal is learning how to regulate yourself differently. And in many ways, we're helping rewire the nervous system back towards what it was designed for before it became shaped by these developmental wounds, by the trauma and the disconnection, and before it formed survival patterns.
That's a very different way of thinking about recovery.
Yeah, because it's not about stopping the behavior. It's about how do I stay emotionally present, connected, regulated, honest, and safe when difficult emotions arise. And that's going to change everything. Because when someone learns how to stay emotionally present instead of shutting down, being defensive or avoidant, connected instead of escaping, the partner finally begins to experience something different. They begin to experience emotional safety. And emotional safety is what allows healing to begin.
Now, the Reconnection Intensives includes the integration component as well, correct?
Yes, we just started that because I was seeing we absolutely, the guys come for a week, they get all this awareness, and then they go home. But they need a sustained period of time to practice it. So we're now giving them, 90 days of weekly check-in, or if you want to call it aftercare, but it's to integrate what you learned in the intensive, right? So what matters is that healing doesn't stop from the intensive alone. You can't spend 5 days learning powerful concepts and then simply return to home expecting these to automatically change. You have to have practice. You have to integrate them. And I think this is the best way to possibly do that. So the nervous system changes through ongoing practice and lived experiences over time so that you learn to stay emotionally present. You can then learn to regulate yourself differently. You can learn how to remain connected during discomfort, tolerate these difficult emotions, And most of all, you're going to be practicing authenticity, vulnerability, transparency, and presence every week. And the more consistently someone practices these things over time, the more opportunity their partner finally has to begin to experience predictability consistently. And they can start to really heal inside the relationship.
That feels incredibly hopeful because it moves healing beyond just trying harder.
Yeah, healing's not about perfection. Healing's about learning how to be emotionally safe enough, emotionally present enough, and emotionally regulated enough that connection becomes possible in a way that it's never been before. And that takes practice. It takes consistency. It takes humility and ongoing integration over time.
Powerful as always. Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of our 3-part series on helping the relationship heal after betrayal. In the next episode, Dr. Barta will discuss why relationships often stay stuck after betrayal, even when both people genuinely want healing. He'll explore how defensiveness, emotional shutdown, old survival patterns, and unresolved intimacy struggles can continue disrupting connection long after the behaviors themselves have stopped. If today's episode and conversation resonated with you and you'd like to learn more about Dr. Barter's approach to healing betrayal, addiction, intimacy disorder, and relationship disconnection, you can find information about his monthly intensives at drmichaelbarta.com. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Reconnection Podcast.